Every drop has a purpose. It nurtures more than just our gardens. Protect what connects us. Conserve what sustains us. Because water is life.
I am running for the seat because I want Miami Gardens to continue to be a place where families can build a life, where our youth see opportunity for themselves, and where our senior citizens feel valued. You know, I truly believe that if we focus on the quality of life today, that we can build a much stronger city for the next generation that chooses to call Miami Gardens home. I'm running to protect residents. I'm running to protect services. I'm running to protect the quality of life of Miami Gardens.
Hi, I'm Katrina Wilson, and I am running for school board member, District 1. I've been a lifelong educator for more than 30 years, and I have served in Miami-Dade County Public Schools for almost 40 years. I think that I have a depth of knowledge about education and an experience. Education is the gateway to the future. I think it allows you to dream.
Plastic bags don't go in the recycling. It's Recycle Right, the game where we find out what's recyclable and what's garbage. Ready to play? Go. So many items we toss daily like cardboard, cans, cartons, glass, and plastic bottles can actually be recycled in our curbside collection program for a cleaner community. The rest is garbage, like your uncle's aim. When you recycle right, we all win. Take your victory lap.
What does Miami Gardens mean to me? Home. Miami Gardens is home. I remember riding on the back of dirt bikes where Joe Robbie Stadium is and just watching the growth and the maturation and the glow up, if you will, of the city. It makes me proud to be a son of the city, and it makes me proud that I was able to raise my sons in the city, and then my sons can come back and raise their sons in the city. That's why I'm running. I'm not running for me right now. I'm running for the next generation and putting policies and institutional pieces within our city that will be there long after my term is over, long after my life is over, and I'll continue to serve the people of Miami Gardens and pour back into the same community that made me, that built me, that made me who I am. That's what Miami Gardens means to me. Home.
Hello, everybody. I'm endorsing Oliver Gilbert because he has always delivered for us, raising wages, delivering paid sick leave, and passing a law to lower water rates.
I'm Oliver Gilbert, and I approve this message because from supporting the 5,000 Role Models program to standing up to Trump, I'm ready to carry on the legacy of Congresswoman Wilson.
Trust me, we need Oliver Gilbert in Congress.
This was awesome. Thank you for tuning in.
Coming up, and I just want to thank her for her patience. We're gonna let her cook as well and share her story as well. And actually, she has like an interesting, dynamic going on. So I'm really excited to talk to her. So if you're ready to come on, Miss Daphne, I know we made you wait a little bit, but me and Paul was cooking a little bit, but you got a thumbs up backstage for me. You ready to come on, Miss? Okay. So without further ado, I would love to welcome to the show Miss Lady Daphne Campbell. Hey, girl. Hey.
All right. Good evening, Jenny Tate. Thank you for your gracious invitation to join the High Low News Talk Live podcast. It is a privilege to be with you and your audience. I am Daphne D. Campbell, a former Florida state representative and state senator. I am a proud Democrat since 1994, and I lived in the district since 1987. a registered nurse with 45 years of dedicated service, an entrepreneur, and the proud mother of 5. I have also endured the heartbreaking loss of one of my children to gun violence. That profound experience has strengthened my commitment to serving with compassion, courage, and integrity. Throughout my career, I've been a strong advocate for public education, accessible healthcare, safer community, and opportunities that help every family succeed. I look forward to our conversation.
Come on now, you better come with the intro. Look, you answered the first question before I even had a chance to get in. And I'm glad you introduced yourself. You know what? Uh, you see, I'm like, I want to say Senator Campbell, and that's your last title. So can you explain to us, like, how this works? Because I know you were senator and now you're running for state rep. So, like, can you explain to us the transition that you're going into to run for this particular office? Like, why state rep instead of state senator?
Well, first on, let me say why I'm running for the state representative district 108, and I held that seat for 3 terms, which is 6 years before, and I joined to the Senate. I'm running for Florida State Representative District 108 because our community deserves a strong, dedicated, and committed voice in Tallahassee. I am ready to stand up for our families, protect our neighbors, strengthen our public schools, expand economic opportunity, and fight for a stronger, safer, and more prosperous future for everyone. As a proud Democrat, like I said earlier, since 1994, I've spent decades believing in the power of community, opportunity, equality, and making sure every voice is heard. I am running to bring those values to Tallahassee and to work for real solutions that put people first, not politics. District 108 deserves leadership that listens, cares, and delivers. I'm ready to serve, ready to fight for our community, and ready to be their voice in Tallahassee.
Okay. And now I want to switch gears. Let's get into policy because you have a long career in public service as well. So you could definitely speak to the breadth of this with a lot of knowledge. Housing affordability is a top concern in the district. Name one specific bill, ordinance, or mechanism you push, and how would you get this paid for in the district and from your work if elected?
Well, District 108 has been affordability. It's been a challenge for District 108 for the longest, but I've been fighting very hard for affordable housing. A lot of people said, "Oh, how are you going to do that?" To alleviate the burdens on the people. What we have in Tallahassee, we have something we call trust funds for affordable housing. So those trust funds, I could work very hard because I work with both sides. I work with Democrat and Republicans. If you don't cross the aisle, because Tallahassee governed by Republicans. In the House is 120 members. In the Senate is 40 senators. In the 120 members in the House, at this moment, for this session, is 31 or 33 Democrats. That's not a lot. And the rest is Republican. In the Senate, 13 Democrat, the rest are Republican. So therefore, if you don't cross the aisle to get what you need for your community, you're not going to get nothing done. You're going to be ineffective. You're not going to, bring no money to your district. I brought back to my district for my 8 years in the legislature over $4 billion. So the trust fund money, if I bring it to the community, what they do, they could work with developers, they could work, with different agencies, and to help the people to alleviate the situation of the affordable housing.
Thank you. Switching gears just again a little bit, the Democratic Party has taken a lot of criticism, especially when it comes to just different things that it concerns when different members of the party, right, and different demographics. Name one thing your own party gets wrong on an issue that you care about?
Well, you know, as a registered nurse for 45 years, I could say even though we are minority and they are super majority, we do have a voice and we do fight for our people. When I was there, when we entered the District 108 in 2010, in 2011, when I went there, I got a group of nurses. They are nurse practitioners who never can practice to their full scope of practice in the state of Florida. The bill was there for 50 years and always failed. So I had it 2011, it failed, 2012 failed, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. But 2016, God was so good to me. And I had a doctor who came on board, Dr. Carey, and he was Republican. And I went to him and he was the chair for the healthcare. When I went to him and talked to him about how it's very hard because in 1990s, I used to own my own clinic right there on 149 North 6th Avenue. It was medical center. So therefore, I remembered we had nurse practitioners and physician assistants on board, and the nurse practitioners can't even prescribe a Tylenol for a kid. And I have to pay a lot of money to a MD just to be there while they're seeing the patients. So I know the burden of nurse practitioners. I know what they're facing. I know the struggle they're having. So I went to him and I said, listen, we have this bill for the nurse practitioners to practice to their full scope of practice. Can you help me? That bill been failed. And he said, of course. Well, President Campbell, I was a state rep at that time. He said, of course, my wife, she's a nurse practitioner. I'll be glad to do the bill with you. And truly he did. And the bill passes. And now I could tell you 2016, HB 423, which is all nurse practitioners in the state of Florida could practice to their full scope of practice.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you right now, we have a lot of nurse practitioners, ARNPs. They open their own clinics. They don't need no doctors to follow them because they do have that opportunity because of Daphne Campbell. In the state of Florida, again, I'm coming to your question. In the state of Florida, the medical assistant never been a profession, ever. They could go to school. It's a bunch of school who give them that classes, medical assistant. They have the certificate, but they are not, it's not a profession. I turn it to a profession where they could take their state board. Now they are medical assistant certified in the state of Florida. And I could name a lot. Even me, when I left Haiti, I went to New York as a registered nurse. I took the board and I passed it. I worked 6 years in New York. And I came here to Florida in 1987. When I came, they asked me to take the state board again for me to practice as a registered nurse in the state of Florida. I took the board once, I didn't get it. I passed it the second time. So when I went to legislature 2010, I said, you know something, this needs to change because you cannot go from state to state taking state board. So I put the bill again. That bill, we have a nursing compact for registered nurse in the state of Florida where they could practice now in 40 states without taking the exam. I went the audience, just clap for me because I'm doing a great thing for nursing, and I felt proud of that because I'm a traveler. I could travel any state who was a compact license without sitting for the board every state I go. That's a lot of stuff I brought in to Tallahassee as for healthcare. So therefore, even though I was a Democrat, but I have opportunity to get things done, regardless we are minority, but I turn my minority to majority because I get things done.
That's what's up. Thank you for breaking that down. And I just want to switch gears again because something that we like to ask our representatives not our representative, the candidates is like the knowledge of the position. Many voters hear about the legislator, but aren't really sure what a state rep actually does. So can you explain to our audience, like what's the role of a Florida state rep?
Okay, basically either you're state rep or state senator, it's only one role we do have to pass the Florida budget to a majority vote. Simple. That's a rule. We don't have 3-4 rules. We have to pass the budget. This is why we see during the session, it's a lot of discussion about the budget. It's a lot of fight between the Republican and Democrat about the budget, because the budget that's all our role for this as a state rep or state senate.
Thank you. Very clear and concise. Um, another question I have is, if reelected, because you've held this position before, you've been in public service, what are the 3 things you like to focus on and accomplish in your first term back in office?
Well, as I said earlier about what happened to me with my son who was killed. Gun violence is not just a public safety issue. It is a public health crisis that is devastating our families and our communities. Having lost my own son to gun violence, this fight is deeply personal. I will work tirelessly with local, state, and federal leaders, law enforcement, faith-based organizations, educators, and community partners to reduce violence, strengthen community policing, invest in prevention and intervention programs, and pursue meaningful reforms, including efforts to repeal Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Too many innocent children have lost their lives, and too many parents go to bed with the tears in their eyes. We cannot accept this as normal. Together, we could build safe communities where every child has the opportunity to live, grow, and thrive. This is one thing I'm going to work on very, very seriously, because we cannot continue that gun violence anymore. Stand Your Ground law need to go, because we're losing our children because of gun violence. The other things I'm really, going to work on is education, because we just have a bill passed this past session where public school, where a charter school could use public school if they do have space. They call it co-location. Public school is an icon. It's no way you could try to erase public school for charter school. And if that's what they said right now. If you let them have 1 foot in, tomorrow they have 2 feet in, and after tomorrow they say, oh, I'm going to kick out all public school. No way. It's not going to happen. I'm going to fight very, very, very hard for public education, bring money for the teachers to get higher pay. It bring money to the public school to get tools all those children required to have, and to remain public school, public school. My 5 children went to public school. My daughter right now, she's a doctor. She's an emergency doctor in Maryland. She graduated since 2012. She was at Northwestern. She was a valedictorian there. So therefore,
Really?
yes, my daughter is a big time, emergency doctor. She's very smart. She has straight A's from elementary to high school. So therefore, I have to make sure I, fight for my public school people, for the teachers, for the parents, for the student, and keep public school just like it is. Public school, not charter school, not voucher school, public schools, period.
Thank you. You actually answered my next question, because I was going to ask you about education and what your focus would be for that. We can go into economics. Another question that I have is, your District 108 includes communities that rely on good paying jobs, economic development, and support for small businesses. What policies would you champion to grow the economy, create jobs, and help entrepreneurs and small businesses succeed?
Well, for my past as a legislator for 8 years, I had a bill for public partnership entity. So how we kept our businesses going, and because any community without a small business is not a community. How do you strengthen your your economic growth. Is working hard with on both sides again, bring money to like you have like a job corp like that. You give money to certain entities, and they could just help the small business like a job corp. Job corp, when you give them money, you are businesses who can afford to pay their staff. They will pay for their staff for 3 to 4 years with the money they got from the state or the federal. But I always fought hard to bring money to the district, give it to like a job corp, like different entities, to make sure our economy, even though it's no jobs, because it's very hard now, no jobs, to make sure our businesses flourish instead of to die. Because we need our small businesses, we need economy to stay safe, even though now it's shaky because of what's going on to Washington D.C. But in our district, my district, I'm going to make sure I kept them flourish and keep going on a daily basis.
Thank you. So Florida continues to face challenges, unique challenges related to transportation, infrastructure, flooding, climate resilience, and rapid development. What role should the Florida House of Representatives play in addressing these issues, and how would you advocate for District 108?
Well, 108, we have a big issue of flooding, especially in North Miami. But every year, I bring the money. We have a money we call like a water projects. Every year, I bring the money to them to make sure, they could help people with the flooding issues. Because I believe in climate change. So this is why I fought hard in Tallahassee to bring the money to the district. Every district I represent. In the House, I did represent 4. Not Miami, Miami Shores, El Portal, Biscayne Park. Everyone got money. In the Senate, I represent 15 cities. Not Miami, Miami Shores, El Portal, Biscayne Park. We have my Akola Lakes, Liberty City, Little River, Miami Beach, Aventura, you name it. It's 15. Every one of them, Golden Beach, every one of them got the money. I don't know what happened after I left. Because after I lost my son, I did lay back a little bit and I said, forget politics. But everybody called me back and said, you have to come back because you used to bring the money. If an elected official went to Tallahassee, they don't work very good to bring money to help the communities, I don't know what to say. But Daphne Campbell is a result. Daphne Campbell, but the money, but Daphne Campbell helped everyone in her communities. And I always the voice for the voiceless, and I'm going to continue to do so.
Thank you. We have a question from the audience. As you saw watching, we take our questions live. This is from Andrea. What bills are you ready to file in Tallahassee? It's like right now, if you were elected.
Okay, my first bill in Tallahassee is going to be affordable housing. Affordable, call affordable. So we have, like I forgot to mention that earlier, the trust fund is Sadowski's trust fund. That Sadowski's trust funds, I'm going to fight to make sure I got that money, not reducing it, but increasing it, to bring it to my communities, to the 4 cities I represent, and they could help those owners and builders just to alleviate those renters. Because 1 bedroom in North Miami right there is $2,000. That's not right. And a lot of people live to a fixed income. And some of them don't even have a job to pay that $2,000. Because when you're talking about when you go to a restaurant and the people who are serving you the food, they don't make that much money. Some of them living on the tips. And a lot of these days, people eat, they don't give no tips. So therefore, we have to work on the affordable housing to help the people because we are losing our base just because housing is too high.
Thank you for taking that live question. My next question is something that's a hot topic here in Florida. Florida has seen several major property insurance reforms. Do you believe they've gone too far? Do you believe they've gone far enough, or is there more action needed? And definitely just give us your overall thoughts when it
Well,
comes to especially property insurance.
property insurance in the state of Florida, the reason of on that is the flooding issues. We
Mm,
have to fix the flooding issues because everybody living, and now it's very hard to get even one insurance because all of them living in the state of Florida. So we need to be friendlier with the property insurance to bring them back and to help the homeowners.
thank you.
It's a
Um,
they call that friendship relationship.
mm. Honestly, I'm glad you kind of broke it down because a lot of times we talk about like home insurance and property insurance here in Florida, and we know that it has to do with the storms that we're dealing with. But the fact that you're like, yo, we can we fixed this problem, we're able to see, lower rates. Like, so I've never heard like a concise, very to the point and like very just no nonsense an answer to that. And but that's something like that could be something that could be worked towards. From your previous work as a public servant and a legislator, like what work have you done around like insurance reform or like to help us get to that point?
Well, we've been fighting with the insurance company for the longest, and like I just said, because they're scared of the flooding and fraud. You know what I mean? So a lot of them running from the state of Florida because of those two, the flooding and the fraud. So this is why I said we do have to be friends with them and have some relationship with them and find a way to compromise to bring them back to the state of Florida and where they could, work with the owners and alleviate the burdens of high insurance and people could afford.
Thank you. The next question is, and we spoke on this, you touched on this a little bit earlier. Tallahassee is Republican controlled. There's a super
Correct.
majority. As a Democrat from this district, what's your plan to get legislation passed?
Well, I have a lot of plans, but like I said, my it's gonna be my three bills I would file as soon as I get in. The affordable housing, the so-called co-location need to be repealed immediately because public school need to remain public school and no charter school try to use spaces in a public school. I don't think it's fair, especially now with a job who's so hard to get and economy so low. Parents cannot even work in 2 to 3 jobs. They cannot afford it. I don't think parents have money to afford to pay charter school. Charter school is very expensive. Charter school is private school. And on top of that, their curriculum is not the same than public school. They do whatever they want to do. They don't have like a curriculum where they have some guidance. That's what I not gonna support that. So I will fight and make sure public school remain public school. That's number 2. The third one I'm gonna work on is gun violence. I know Republican love that. I'm not saying I'm gonna remove the Second Amendment, nothing from them. I'm not doing that. But we have to have some control. You cannot give gun to somebody who's sick, mental sick. They need to have some mental, check. Go and do some background and check on them to see if they are capable to carry gun. You cannot put gun on the street to everyone. All the small kids, everybody, like the one who killed my son, she was 23 years old. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So this needs to stop. I know it's a hard. It's going to be a hard bill. I had it before. It didn't go nowhere. They didn't even listen to it in committees. But we're going to try. We're going to have to try to see what can be done because, too many of us crying every single day. Every single day you go to bed, you have to think about your child, your children. No, something needs to be done about gun violence. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Enough is enough. We have to talk to this Republican and say, come on. It's not only us, Democrats, who losing our children. You're losing yours too. So therefore, something needs to be done.
Definitely from your experience from being in the legislature before, is there some type of strategy? Because for you to say you brought home, what was it, $8 billion during your
Four,
tenure?
four,
4 billion, but still,
over
it's a
four,
bit, huh?
over four.
Over 4, but still, that's a significant number. That means you had to know some type of strategy to work with the other side of the aisle. What does it take to be able to get the Republicans to work with you? Because
Okay.
you've been there, so you know what it takes. Like, what is that? Because some people can't go up there and get anything done. You
Well,
know?
listen, you have four things in legislature for you to have in order to be effective. Communication, number one.
Mm,
How to communicate with others. Yes, you could be Republican, I could be minority, you are majority, but I could sit down with you. Let's communicate. I remembered I had a bill for TPS to extend TPS to longer. Because when the president came to right in Florida, he went to Little Haiti. He was telling the Haitian he's going to do this, he's going to do a promise, so many promises, not even one kept. So therefore, I did a bill for them for that. And when I filed the bill, my Republicans, some of them come to me and say, Senator Campbell, you want all your Haitians to come and take over Florida? I said, no, 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 no. Let's talk. So I went to them, sit with them, and explain why. That's number one. Second thing we have to do, relationship. Even though they are Republicans, I am a Democrat, proud Democrat. Of course, I cannot pass them and start cursing them out. I have to have some relationship. You have another word called compromising. I don't compromise everything with you, but certain things we could sit down and say, let's compromise. Let's have things done. Just like I'm going to give you an example. When I had the bill for the nurses, the nurse practitioners, HB 423, when I went and sat with Dr. Carey, his wife was a nurse practitioner and he said, oh, that's a good bill, Senator Campbell. I'm going to take it over. I'm going to be the prime sponsor. I said, no, 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 no. That bill has been there for so long. We could do it together. So you're going to see that bill say, Senator Daphne, Daphne Campbell and Dr. Carey. It's two people, but we both are prime sponsors. You know what I mean? You have to compromise to get things done. I said, I know you want to take over because he was the chair of healthcare. If he's chair of healthcare, I cannot fight the man. He's a Republican, he has majority. Every committee is more Republican than Democrat. So therefore, I say, okay, as long we pass it, as long we get it to turn into a statute for that statute and have the minors practitioners, I don't have any problem with that. Both of us done it together. Most of the healthcare bill, I done it with Dr. Carey. And most of them, and all of them are statute for that statute today. So that's compromise. And you have another word, respect. We have to respect each other. You're Republican, I'm Democrat, but I respect you, you respect me. Therefore, if you have those four, I say communication, relationship, compromise, and respect. You have those four. Trust me, you will be effective. When I ask for something in Tallahassee, I get it done. When I request my appropriations, because we have appropriations, I put all my appropriations before the governor, like vetoed. They will call me in their office. Representative Campbell, can I see your appropriations? And they will go over each one of them and go and evaluate them themselves and call the people and get the money. That's how I brought all this money.
wow.
That's 4 words. I'm humbled. I'm very respected to everyone, both sides. Okay? And I compromise. And I know how to keep my relationship on both aisles. Relationship. You have to cross the aisle. If you refuse to cross the aisle, you're not gonna get nothing done. They have elected officials who don't bring even $1 to their district.
Wow.
And that's not good. Because you know who suffered? The communities. They are the ones who suffered. They're complaining about the city don't do this, the county don't do that. But how much money you bring for them to do this, to do that? You don't bring nothing. Huh? Come on, let's be real. That's why a lot of them is talk, but ask them. And it's very easy for you to go on Florida House of Representatives or Florida Senate. You could check to see how much money they bring into their district. If they lie to you, check them out.
Oh, come on now, Miss Campbell. And I want to call out something that you said, and this is not any shade toward any elected officials, but I always find it to be interesting some of the call outs that some of our Democratic legislators make, and they're like so intense and so it's a lot of choice words that they say about the Republicans. And in my head, I'm always like, how you gonna say all this stuff about these people on TV? They got a super majority, and then you go like you're not how you gonna be able to get anything done? Like, granted, some things have to be called out, some things have to be said, right? But sometimes it gets a little disrespectful, as you said, or it's kind of like a little wild and raunchy. And I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna here's the thing, because if there was the shoe was on the other foot and it was a Democratic uh majority and Republicans were coming at them and saying all type of stuff, I just don't you just wouldn't have the incentive to want to work with them. So I'm kind of glad that you kind of called out like, hey, we could compromise, but we got to respect each other. And I'm not going to
Correct.
go out and call you out and disrespect you in public and then think that you're going to want to work with me. So I'm really glad as somebody for you, and you could speak to it from experience on both levels to say, hey, this is how I got this done. And at the end of the day, what you said, bringing back money to the district is the priority. Like
Correct.
that's what the job is. You said to pass the budget and appropriations bring money back to the district. I ain't
Correct.
heard nobody. I don't know too many other legislators that don't brought back $4 billion. That is
They don't bring even $1.
I don't even know. That's a lot of money, Miss. That's a lot of money,
I
Miss
did.
Campbell.
You
That's
could
a
go and
lot
check
of money to
yourself.
spend it.
Go and check yourself. I did. I did.
No, I look, and I'm glad you broke that down for us. Um, what's one specific need that your district has that's not talked about enough at the state level?
What? Say it again. I didn't hear you.
Sorry. What's one specific need to your district that doesn't get talked about a lot at the state level? So what's some needs in the district that the state really isn't paying attention to
What?
that you like to
Well,
bring attention to?
basically, what I did while I'm in the district, and even while I wasn't there, I communicate a lot with my district. I do a lot of town halls meeting. I do a lot of meeting, on Zoom, and I talk to them to find out what their needs. At this moment, the only needs they all talking about, every one of them, affordable housing. Everybody, I know a lot of people in the district sleeping in their cars. I went to a park and I saw so many, even young kids. I met a girl, she's only 20 years old. She was sleeping in the park. And I asked her why. She told me her parents threw her out and, she don't have nowhere to live. She's not working. So affordable housing is the main issue. In Tallahassee, we've been fighting for it. It's a lot of money allocated for affordable housing. Like I just said, if an elected official do not bring the money or fight for the Sadowski Trust funds, I don't know. But me, I've done it. I've done it before, and I will do it again. And I might do it even more and more and more. Because at this moment, the district needs someone who could voice for them, who could fight for them, who could speak for them, who could be there for them, because they cannot go to Tallahassee and fight the way we fight for them. So therefore, they need experience. That's a word again. You need to have experience, not learning what's going on in Tallahassee. You have to ready to serve, ready to lead, and fighting for the people.
Thank you. Man, this has been an amazing conversation. Uh, Ms. Campbell, is there anything that you would like to address to our audience that we didn't touch on that you'd like to speak to?
Well, the only thing I want to add into it, because I know a lot of people listening to me at this moment, is the issues with negative campaign.
Mm. That's
Negative
one of the topics
campaign.
tonight. That's one of the topics for tonight. You better speak on it.
Negative campaign, negative ads, lying on people, claim you are Republican, you take money from Trump. I never see Trump in my life. I don't even know where Trump is. And I don't understand. Epstein file, I don't even know who's Epstein file. Who Epstein? I never see that man. I mean, he's dead. You know what I mean? Giselle, Putin. I don't know where Putin is. You know what I mean? These things is bad. It is really, really bad. Janae, let me tell you something. If someone you want to run for office, you have to have some ground of community service first. You have to know your district. You have to live in your district. You have to know the people. You have to know how to interact with people. And you have to be polite. You cannot just try to run for office and sending negative ad on people, talking about a lot of stuff was not true. This campaign, I sponsored myself. You know why? I see the struggles of the people out there. They don't have the money. I know families who don't even have $50. $50. I know families who don't eat a meal for 2 to 3 days. They call me all the time. Why would I ask them to give me money for campaign? So therefore, for someone to claim and send a mailer, said, I received $125,000 from Republicans, people, that's not good. Run on your merits. Run on what have you done before. Run on somebody like Daphne who bought over $4 billion. Run on what you have done. You don't have nothing to run. I'm now ran for 45 years. I work hard for what I have. I'm a public servant, not a politician. Public servant earned. You don't buy that. You cannot borrow it from no one. It's earned from day one. You enter to the public world. So therefore, the tactics of sending nasty ads and not lying to people, say this one is corrupted, this one take money from this, from that. That's not good. They need to stop this. That's why the voters don't want to vote no more. Every door you knock, the people, that's all they're complaining. They cannot stand that nasty mailers. They cannot stand this one say about that one say about that. You know the person work hard in the community. You know what they have done. You know their work. You know they make money. You know they are good public servant. Leave them alone. If you're not ready, move out. Period. Period. But this needs to stop. And that's what I touched on that, because I'm going through that right now. And that's not fair.
Ooh, thank you for speaking on that. Thank you for sharing your side and your piece on that. Before we let you go, Miss Campbell, let the audience know, let the people in District 108 know why they deserve your vote. I mean, wait, I said that wrong.
What they
Let the people
deserve?
know why you
I
deserve their
deserve
vote.
their vote. Okay. But it's simple. Jeanette, it's simple. First, let me thank you for the invitation. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I thank all the audience who are listening to you at this moment, who listened to me and who heard my voice. I thank everyone who's watching at this moment. Everybody knows Daphne Campbell is results. Daphne Campbell is a voice for the voiceless. Daphne Campbell is an effective elected official. Daphne Campbell is a public servant, not a pocket servant. I work for the people. I work for you who are watching right now. So District 108 deserves better. There's someone who has experience, someone who cares for her communities, and someone who will continue fighting for better, for worse. I ask everyone, vote for Daphne Campbell is vote to have a better education. Vote for Daphne Campbell is for to have affordable housing. Vote for Daphne Campbell is to fight the gun violence. Vote for Daphne Campbell is to continue the health care result, like I already talked about all of them, and it's more into it. And vote for Daphne Campbell is to continue supporting small businesses and keep small businesses flourishing on a daily basis. Vote, vote, vote. Number 102 for the only one, the true result, the true champion, the true leader for District 108, Daphne Campbell, registered nurse with a bachelor degree.
Hey, you better come on now, Miss Campbell. Miss Campbell supporters in the chat, y'all better put some claps and some fires in for her because she gave us the energy tonight. I appreciate you so much. Look, Miss Campbell, let people know your website, how they can support, donate, volunteer. Let's give them all the things on how they can connect with you.
Yes, my website is daphnecampbell.com, DAPHNECAMPBELL.com. You see everything I've done. And my social media for Facebook, Daphne Campbell 2010 at yahoo.com. For Instagram, Daphne or FL. And I'm giving everyone my cell number. Call me because I'm a public servant. 786-274-0166. I have this number for 45 years. When you call, you don't call office, you don't call like people who work for me, you call Daphne Campbell. If I don't answer, text me. I will respond anytime, any minute, any hour. Thank you. I love you all. I love you all. Mwah.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. Great energy. Thank you so much. Like I said, we don't tell people who to vote for. We allow people to tell their story, and you make the best decision for your life. District 108 residents, if you know somebody who lives in a district, let them know to watch this interview so they can make an informed decision. You know, God bless you in your race, and may the best person win, Ms. Campbell. Thank you so much for coming on High-Low News and supporting Black-owned, local, woman-owned media. I appreciate this.
Thank you, Jenny. I love you too, Mom.
Thank you.
What does Miami Gardens mean to me? Home. Miami Gardens is home. I remember riding on the back of dirt bikes where Joe Robbie Stadium is and just watching the growth and the maturation and the glow up, if you will, of the city. It makes me proud to be a son of the city, and it makes me proud that I was able to raise my sons in the city, and then my sons can come back and raise their sons in the city. That's why I'm running. I'm not running for me right now. I'm running for the next generation and putting policies and institutional pieces within our city that will be there long after my term is over, long after my life is over, and I'll continue to serve the people of Miami Gardens and pour back into the same community that made me, that built me, that made me who I am. That's what Miami Gardens means to me. Home.
Hi, I'm Katrina Wilson, and I am running for school board member, District 1. I've been a lifelong educator for more than 30 years, and I have served in Miami-Dade County Public Schools for almost 40 years. I think that I have a depth of knowledge about education and an experience. Education is the gateway to the future. I think it allows you to dream.
Every drop has a purpose. It nurtures more than just our gardens. Protect what connects us. Conserve what sustains us. Because water is life.
Hello, everybody. I'm endorsing Oliver Gilbert because he has always delivered for us, raising wages, delivering paid sick leave, and passing a law to lower water rates.
I'm Oliver Gilbert, and I approve this message because from supporting the 5,000 Role Models program to standing up to Trump, I'm ready to carry on the legacy of Congresswoman Wilson.
Trust me, we need Oliver Gilbert in Congress.
Plastic bags don't go in the recycling. It's Recycle Right, the game where we find out what's recyclable and what's garbage. Ready to play? Go. So many items we toss daily like cardboard, cans, cartons, glass, and plastic bottles can actually be recycled in our curbside collection program for a cleaner community. The rest is garbage, like your Uncle Zane. When you recycle right, we all win. Take your victory lap.